The Star Trek franchise has amassed 902 episodes of television spanning 47 seasons. As time has passed, I thought to myself, it would be extremely interesting to rank every episode, but randomly, thus creating the Star Trek Retro Review series, a weekly back and forth between Pop Tot and I, as we reminisce over the good, the bad, and the ugly. Buckle up and enjoy. After last week's Star Trek Deep Space Nine episode, Hard Time, I wanted to change a little bit and go to something a little more lighter, and I picked Voyager's Counterpoint.
How thoughtful.
An episode I, again, don't really remember. I guess I'm a really shitty Star Trek fan. Man, I really enjoyed this episode. This is a great Voyager episode.
Impressive. You gave a masterful performance.
Yeah, I mean, this is a true Janeway episode.
Yeah.
You know, This is Captain Catherine Janeway, Kate Mulgrew. Man, there's just something about her. She takes her jacket off at one point. Yowzer.
This kind of behavior is never tolerated in Boracua. You shout like that, they put you in jail right away.
Anyway, I'm sorry. I just had to say that.
Believe it or not, jail.
But no, it's a great episode because what we have here is they're going through another faction of space.
We're just trying to get back to Earth, Inspector.
To the Devore Imperium.
It's tough to avoid.
Apparently, they've outlawed anything that has to do with telepaths.
Sudar and Gerard, betazoids, all telepaths. And yet, for some reason, you neglected to mention them.
This episode is about the relationship that has developed between, his name is Kashyyyk.
Yeah.
But he's a inspector? No,
yeah.
He's...
Captain.
Inspector.
He's an inspector.
Exploring can sometimes be hard to resist, Inspector.
They inspected, but I think he had some sort of title, right?
It was inspector.
Inspector, we have completed our inventory of the vessel.
Yeah.
Was it?
I am the smartest man alive!
So him and his folks come on there and they check the Voyager and they kind of rough things up, and they are hiding telepaths to get him to some sort of wormhole. The chemistry between Kashyyyk and Janeway is really good.
A random occurrence.
You follow your instincts.
You know, he facts and says that he wants to help him and blah, blah, blah. And there's a twist at the end. But no, I really did enjoy this episode.
I think it's funny because the twist is pretty obvious it's going to happen.
It's stupid obvious.
And I think that the twist isn't the fact that the twist is going to happen. It's the fact that Janeway knew it would to literally like the 9th degree.
You follow your instincts. Seems you violated it when you rescued these telepaths.
Well, let's just say I usually go with my instincts.
The beauty of this episode to me is that no matter what, it showed that Janeway always puts her crew first.
Sleep well.
And you?
I haven't had sex in 4 months. I should get a medal for that.
She always was playing to the safety of her crew. I really admired that. Like you said, the chemistry between the two of them is really good. The guy that plays him, I think his name's Mark Harelik. He's like a character actor and stuff. He's in a bunch of stuff. He is excellent.
Why the sudden change of heart?
There's nothing sudden about it. I've been looking for a way to escape for years. Voyager was the perfect opportunity.
The way he talks, the tone and when he's saying stuff, it's very interesting to me.
Well, it's a romantic notion, Captain, but one I can't allow you to indulge. I'm afraid I'll have to ask you to leave our space immediately.
He has this weird kind of, he puts like a little bit of nuance, oomph to him when he says stuff.
Well played, Captain. It seems I never did earn your trust.
And it kind of reminds me of Christoph Waltz. He kind of has the way he just kind of pronounces stuff. And it just...
If a rat were to walk in here right now as I'm talking, would you greet it with a source of your delicious milk?
Perhaps. Captain, do you trust me?
Not for a second.
Exactly.
At the end, her and him are sitting on the bridge, and he thinks he's really taken the day from her. She said,
I never lied to you. My offer to take you with us was genuine.
Even at that point, you kind of felt like, even with his betrayal, that there was some truth.
Yeah.
And him loving her music, the culture.
Right.
For what it's worth, you made a tempting offer.
There was a lot that he was saying that to me felt like a bit of a red flag.
You have no choice, Captain. I'm your only hope.
Like he was constantly interested in Earth history, Voyager's history, Janeway's history.
I came across something else in your database. The Prime Directive.
And you could almost feel like he used this story of compassion about saving a child.
When I lifted her out and set her down on the deck, she thanked me.
And I'm like, that's a human quality that, when we see children hurt or whatever, and he was using against her. And I was like, that to me is a bit of a red flag.
Violence and beauty, science and faith, all somehow mingled harmoniously.
Like I said, he kind of changes his cadence to almost endearing. And then when he kind of eventually reveals that he's the bad guy, he goes back to this kind of pompous attitude, cadence and whatever.
My people know about the wormhole. It's only a matter of time before they find it.
A masterful performance.
I'm the one who's impressed with your selflessness, your humanity.
I did love that their outfits look like acoustic panels that they were wearing. They're like the black acoustic panels.
Poor Drax, though.
Prax here still refuses to try it.
Prax was like his right-hand man. He really just kept yelling at that poor dude.
Do you think either of us will benefit from having this failure on our records? As far as you're concerned, this incident never occurred.
Kept yelling at him. He was just trying to do his job, and he just kept
there's
shitting on him.
6 times where he just screamed his name.
Prax! To hell with protocol! Prax!
You're in the arms of the angel.
What was odd for me about this episode is Voyager always did a good balance between all the huge array of characters that were on the ship. This one, I mean, they all had like bit parts in the background, but it was truly a Janeway episode.
Yeah, I thought maybe near the end they would do something where Chakotay pulls her aside and you did a good thing, and it's like we didn't. I don't even remember.
I don't even remember Chakotay being in the episode.
Yeah, I know he was. I think, right. I don't remember.
I don't think he was.
Shields up. Bridge to Captain.
Tuvok had a small part because Vulcans are, I guess, telepathic by the Devore rule or whatever. And the Devore...
Commander Tuvok, Ensign Vorik, Vulcans.
They had a motive that I guess in some way was reasonable, was that they felt...
Why take someone at their word when you can simply read their mind?
Sense of being and their own personal freedoms, and that's why they outlawed them. So that was kind of interesting. They didn't really go too far with that.
And yet it's the foundation of every relationship, professional and personal. It's also a concept alien to the telepathic races.
In typical fashion with the other 2 episodes, it went by so quick.
It did. It really did.
I'm like, holy crap, it's already over. But overall, what would you rate our 3rd episode of Retro Review, Counterpoint?
Well, I've been giving this a lot of thought because we have a lot of episodes to rank. So I'm going to break out the decimals. So I'm going to give this an 8.3.
Hell with protocol, Prax!
Oddly specific. Okay, I will do an 8.5. So we'll be cut in the middle somewhere. But
well, it was just a well-balanced episode. It did have some issues, not counting Kashyyyk, the Prax guy, and some of the guys are a little comical. I really think it was a strong J-Wing episode.
You created false readings.
That is the theme for this evening, isn't it?
Voyager is just a great show. So I'm glad that you picked a Voyager episode this week.
Yeah, no, I enjoyed it. I like seeing Janeway kind of had this gooey morsel of affection.
With something that wasn't a hologram, because let's not get into the hologram romance.
Right. Yeah, and she genuinely cared, and she did let her guard down a little bit.
I was planning on asking you to stay with us once we got through the wormhole.
But obviously not enough to endanger her crew, which I really respected. The chemistry between the 2 of them was incredible. Mark Harelik, I think is how you say his name. He did an outstanding job. He's one of the best guest stars, I think, for sure, on Voyager at the very least.
Make sure your teams share that understanding.
We love reading your guys' comments. Thank you guys so much for supporting. And let us know what you guys want us to see. What did you guys think of this episode? And we'll see you guys on the next one.